Okay, imagine this for a second. Tony Stark never looks down from that ferry, never notices a kid in red. No rooftop talk, no AI suit, no awkward mentorship that quietly reshaped the entire MCU. Because the moment Tony met Peter Parker in Civil War, the universe subtly chose a favorite. So picture the timeline snapping just slightly differently, and everything that follows feels colder, heavier, and way more dangerous. We're still in 2016. Same airport, same accords, same teams sprinting toward disaster together fast. Tony's hunting for an edge against Steve, scrolling MIT profiles, when fate simply doesn't nudge him toward Queens. Peter Parker stays anonymous, stopping bike thieves, filming homemade vlogs, completely unaware he was supposed to matter more. At the airport, Iron Man never calls in the kid, and that one missing variable changes the entire fight. Cap still drops Tony, but it's uglier now because no webbing saves Rhodey from falling quite so cleanly. Rhodey survives, barely, but Tony's guilt has nowhere to go. No kid to protect, no future to invest in. This is where it starts to hurt, because Tony Stark without Peter is just Tony Stark alone. No instant dad instincts, no second chances, just a man doubling down on control and armor. By the time Infinity War rolls around, Tony never bothers swinging through Queens, and Peter never leaves Earth. The alien ship lifts off without a stowaway, and that single absence echoes louder than any explosion. On Titan, Tony fights Thanos without that extra pair of hands, without that hopeful voice saying, "We can win." The plan almost works anyway, but when Peter isn't there, the glove slips back on just a second sooner. And that's the second the universe breaks, because this time, Tony is the one who gets dusted. No whispered apology to a kid, no tearful hug, just silence and ash drifting across Titan's ruined stone. Back on Earth, Peter lives through the snap, confused, terrified, in never knowing he was supposed to die. And here's the cruel twist, because saving Peter didn't make Tony a hero, but losing Tony leaves the world lost.
5 years pass, and Peter Parker grows up in a world that never asked him to be anything more. No blip trauma, no Iron Spider suit, just a kid wondering why he survived when half the planet didn't. When Scott Lang escapes the quantum realm, there's no Tony to call, no genius anchor holding the plan together. Bruce tries, Steve believes, Natasha hopes, but you can feel the whole Tony left in every conversation. They still find Peter eventually, because power like that never stays hidden forever. He's older now, rougher, still pulling punches, still refusing to call himself an Avenger. When Strange explains the stakes, Peter finally understands the ghost decision that shaped his entire life. "You were meant to meet him," Strange says softly, and that sentence hits harder than any villain ever could. The final battle comes anyway, because destiny doesn't care if you're ready. Peter swings into chaos without a mentor, without backup plans, trusting instinct instead of inherited genius. Thanos notices immediately, because raw potential without polish is dangerous in unpredictable ways. This time, when the gauntlet hits the ground, Peter grabs it, terrified, shaking, but unwilling to run. He looks around and realizes nobody's coming to save him, no voice in his ear, no dad in metal armor. So Peter makes the choice Tony once made, the one nobody wanted him to ever face. "I'm sorry," he whispers to May somewhere far away, snapping fingers that still feel too young. The universe resets, Thanos falls, and Peter Parker disappears in a burst of blinding white. In this timeline, Tony Stark never met Peter Parker, but Peter still became everything Tony believed in. The world remembers Iron Man as a fallen genius, and Spider-Man as a nameless miracle. And maybe that's the point, because heroes don't need mentors to be brave. They just need one moment where they choose others over themselves. So tell me, would you trade our timeline for this one, where Tony lives longer but hope dies younger? And if Tony never met Peter, was Spider-Man always destined to save everyone anyway? Drop your thoughts below, because this universe hurts in a way only Marvel fans understand.